In the quiet halls of Sweden's aerospace industry, whispers began to spread about a decision so bold that it could reshape the future of the Gripen fighter jet. Engineers, policymakers, and defense strategists were gathered around closed doors, and the discussion revolved around one name: Rolls-Royce. The Gripen E/F, already celebrated as a marvel of cost-effectiveness and agility, was suddenly at the center of a mystery. Why was Sweden considering a shift in its engine strategy? And why did Rolls-Royce, a British icon, suddenly emerge as a possible savior? The story begins not in the skies of Europe, but in the shadowy world of global defense politics. The Gripen E had always been powered by the General Electric F414 engine, a trusted but American-made core. On paper, it worked flawlessly. But beneath the surface, Sweden's defense establishment knew the risks. A weapon system dependent on American approval could never truly be independent. In moments of political tension, the supply of parts or upgrades could be delayed, or worse, withheld. For a country that prided itself on neutrality and independence, this was unacceptable. It was here that the Rolls-Royce connection appeared like a hidden card pulled from a magician's sleeve. Rolls-Royce had decades of experience in building advanced jet engines, powering everything from commercial airliners to legendary military aircraft. Behind closed doors, engineers proposed an astonishing idea: retrofitting the Gripen EF with a British Rolls-Royce engine. The implications were staggering. A European engine would mean freedom from American veto power, deeper integration with European allies, and potentially a whole new export market that had previously been restricted. But mysteries don't unfold in straight lines. There were hidden layers in this tale. Rumors swirled that secret meetings had taken place in London and Stockholm, where engineers laid blueprints on polished wooden tables. Rolls-Royce wasn't just offering an engine. It was offering Sweden a chance at independence, a gamble that could save the Gripen program from political entanglements. Yet such a move was not without risk. Would America retaliate, cutting Sweden off from other crucial technologies? Would NATO frown upon the idea of shifting away from US-backed systems? Every step Sweden took seemed to move deeper into a maze of shadows and uncertainty. The story grew darker when reports emerged of rival defense companies attempting to sabotage the talks. Lobbyists, intelligence agencies, and defense contractors all had stakes in this hidden game. If the Gripen became truly independent with a Rolls-Royce engine, it could become the most attractive fighter jet for countries wary of US strings. That alone was enough to make powerful forces uneasy. Behind the scenes, the stakes weren't just about an engine. It was about who controlled the skies of the future. Engineers in Sweden knew that the technical challenge would be immense. An aircraft is not a car where you can swap engines at will. The Gripen's entire design was built around the F414, and installing a new Rolls-Royce power plant would require redesigning airflow systems, adjusting weight distribution, and recalibrating avionics. But the allure of freedom was stronger than fear. Whispers among engineers hinted at experimental prototypes already being tested in secure hangars, their sound muffled by secrecy. As the months passed, the mystery deepened. Some claimed Sweden was merely using the Rolls-Royce talks as leverage against the US, a bargaining chip to negotiate better terms. Others insisted that the deal was real, and that hidden within the forests of Sweden A prototype Gripen with a Rolls-Royce engine had already roared to life under strict guard. Pilots who allegedly flew the prototype described it as smoother, quieter, and astonishingly efficient, though none of these accounts were ever confirmed. Then came the geopolitical shockwaves. Nations interested in purchasing. By the time the first part of this tale closes, the answers remain hidden. Sweden's skies carry the sound of Gripens in flight, their engines roaring with American steel, for now. But beneath the roar lies silence, and in that silence, secrets are being forged. Whether the Rolls-Royce engine will truly save the Gripen E/F remains uncertain. But one thing is clear: a storm is gathering, and the world is watching. The second chapter of this mystery will reveal whether Sweden dares to make the boldest move in its aviation history, or whether the dream of independence will be quietly buried. The storm broke when fresh whispers emerged from deep inside the aerospace corridors. Engineers close to the project began leaking subtle hints. Rolls-Royce wasn't offering just any engine. It was developing a specialized variant rumored to combine stealth-friendly exhaust systems, higher fuel efficiency, and advanced thrust vectoring. If true, this would push the Gripen into an entirely new class, rivaling even fifth-generation fighters. But why was this story still shrouded in secrecy? The answer lay in the geopolitical stakes. America was watching. Washington had invested heavily in ensuring that allies depended on US engines and components. A breakaway by Sweden could set a dangerous precedent, encouraging other nations to do the same. Leaks suggested that behind the scenes, pressure was mounting. US diplomats quietly warned Sweden that such a move could strain defense relations. Yet Sweden, a nation long accustomed to walking the fine line of neutrality, pressed forward. Its leaders believed that independence came at a price, but that price was worth paying. Meanwhile, in Britain, Rolls-Royce saw the opportunity of a lifetime. With its commercial aviation business under strain, a defense contract with Sweden could resurrect its dominance in military aviation. Engineers in Derby worked late into the night, refining designs, their drafts hidden under layers of secrecy. If successful, the Gripen RR project would not only give Sweden independence, but also crown Rolls-Royce as the new king of European fighter engines. For both nations, the project wasn't just technical, it was existential. Then came the darker side of the tale. Espionage reports began to surface. Intelligence agencies suspected that rival powers were attempting to infiltrate the program. Strange cyber attacks targeted Saab's servers. Surveillance teams in Stockholm reported unusual activity near defense facilities. The whispers turned into paranoia. Was someone trying to steal the Rolls-Royce Gripen engine blueprints? Or worse, was someone attempting to sabotage the entire project before it could take flight? The pressure on Sweden grew unbearable. Political factions within the country debated furiously. Some argued that switching engines was reckless, a costly distraction. Others saw it as the only way to safeguard Sweden's independence in an era of growing uncertainty. The public too grew curious. Newspapers hinted at a hidden engine that could make Sweden untouchable in the skies. The atmosphere was electric, a mix of pride and fear. And then, suddenly, the story took a twist no one expected. At an undisclosed airbase, witnesses claimed to have seen a Gripen prototype fitted with a Rolls-Royce engine streak across the dawn sky. The jet's sound was different, sharper, more refined. Though no official confirmation was ever released, the rumor spread like wildfire. Was this the first flight of the legendary Raven prototype? Or just another layer of psychological warfare designed to confuse rivals as nations lined up to purchase fighters? Sweden's secret negotiations gained momentum. Countries long frustrated with US restrictions began quietly sending envoys to Stockholm, eager to learn if the Rolls-Royce Gripen was real. If true, it could tilt the balance of air power. Imagine a nation like India or Brazil wielding a fighter free from American oversight. Such a thought sent shivers through the corridors of Washington and Moscow alike. By the end of the second chapter, the mystery only deepens. Was Sweden truly preparing to unveil the boldest leap in its aviation history, powered by Rolls-Royce? Or was this entire narrative a smokescreen, a high-stakes bluff to extract concessions from the US while keeping rivals on edge? The truth remains locked in shadow, hidden within hangars, and whispered in secret meetings. What is certain, however, is that the world will not wait forever. When the secret is finally revealed, it may not just change the fate of the Gripen E/F. It may alter the entire balance of power in the sky.